So we had the first week of new time rules, the new time rules in the TCG. And some of the horror stories have been fantastic. The finals was a double match loss, and they had to discuss game states to see who should scoop. The final of a regional is XOXO, and if they both get a double game loss, they, like, both take a really bad X1 tiebreaker, which could potentially just throw them out of top 4. So the best thing to do in an XO versus XO regional final, mathematically, I believe, is to, for someone to scoop and someone to win. Better hope this discussion occurred before the timer was up. Oh yeah, no, of course. Absolutely. That would be illegal. What are you, some kind of fucking narc? So anyway, the way that this works is you're going to have two duelists who are at their regional, and they are playing the game and coming to the conclusion at the end of the round timer of who is victorious. So they got all their cards on the field, you know, they were playing the game, you know, this guy's like got some spells out, this dude might have like a little trap card or something. And so the record for these two players is XOXO. And it is the final round. Now, hypothetically, the best case scenario, what should happen is at round 7, before the timer hits 0-0, both of these players should probably come to the conclusion that there is someone who should win this game. Because if the timer hits 0 and the duel has not concluded, then both of these players get annihilated by a giant nuke from orbit. How do you use this tool? Boom, 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 boom. It's something like that, yeah. And so to avoid the double nuclear strike on their match, the double game loss, which would give them both an X1 record, which would put both of them potentially out of the top 4, missing out on higher worlds points, the deck box for the regional, etc., etc. Under the new time rules, a double match loss is really bad for your timebreakers, and so what should happen is both of these players should try find someone to scoop the game. Now, that doesn't really work if the timer hits 0. That's technically altering the game state, so for legal reasons, let's clarify you can't do that. However, leading up to the timer, it really behooves someone here to surrender. In an ideal world, this person might have, like, you know, a freaking, like, you know, boss monster up here, and then, like, you know, the negate over here. I don't know why it's a triangle, and then this guy's attacking this guy, right? So this player is clearly just, like, you know, seconds, maybe minutes away from winning the game. So this person over here should scoop the duel, because it's going to be a loss anyway long term, and if the timer hits 0, they're still losing, but the only difference is that they're going to now get worse tiebreakers, potentially get knocked out of the top 4 finish for the regional. Is it not top 8 for regional? Top 8 for regional, top 4 for better prizing. So basically, this person should scoop. But sometimes games can be a little bit more complicated, where maybe he's got, like, higher life points, and maybe he has a bigger monster that declare an attack that I don't know what we're doing with this. That's anyway. So in a ideal final of a regional, what basically ideally should happen is both the players should try and decide, like, who should scoop this game, because whoever scoops this game still has a chance of staying in the top 4. But whoever wins the game is going to win the regional if they finish XO. Now, because of the new time rules, if time hits 0 and no one has been declared a winner, they both get a match loss and they both fall out of the top 4. They still most likely get top 8, but they'll very likely miss out on things like the deck box, etc., or more worlds points. So, what's happening now is that people are deciding who should win games leading up to the round timer ending at regionals and locals, because of all the reasons I just mentioned. And so that's pretty much the prisoner's dilemma that we have here that has been created by these new time rules in order to extract more efficiency and make things faster, for venues to close down, for staff to not need to be paid for more duration of time during the event weekend than they need to be. Konami has expedited that process via these new game rules, and so you end up with essentially the corporate office job presentation mode that these guys are Microsoft PowerPointing each other at the end of a round. So yeah, that's the current state of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's your first week roundup of the takeaway from the new time rules. I think Yu-Gi-Oh's in a fantastic place right now.